It is 6:30, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. I see we have some guests. Chief, do you want to introduce those guests for us?
Yes, Mayor and members of the council, I'd like to welcome Troop 777. They're chartered out of Discovery Church and actually in Sauk Rapids, and they're here to observe the council meeting tonight, and then at the conclusion of the meeting, I'll be giving them a tour of the PD. So I'd like to recognize Jeff Haas. Jeff was a longtime DNR employee, did a lot of work in the fire service and did a lot of training for emergency management for our department and others in the area for many, many years. So Jeff is one of their scout leaders, and I'm sorry I don't know all of you, but I just wanted to recognize Jeff and welcome the troop to our council meeting.
Yeah, welcome. You picked a good council to come to. This won't take long. All right, hope you enjoy your tour, and don't go in that one room, because if you go in there, they don't let people out of that one room, so. All right, review and approve council agenda.
Move to approve. Are we amending?
We're gonna amend it. We're gonna.
You can
we'll
pull
skip-
C.
We'll pull C under
5C.
regular,
Yep.
the regular agenda items. We're gonna pull 5C, yeah.
Or just remove it.
Yeah, same difference, remove it, pull it, whatever. All right, I think that's it. Somebody want to move to approve as amended?
Make the motion. Second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed unanimously. Consent agenda items. Item A, approve proposal for services related to comprehensive plan. Item B, approve special animal license for Elizabeth Meyer. Item C, approve special animal license for Kathleen Murch. Item D, approve the process for police sergeant promotion. Item E, approve on-sale strong beer and Sunday license for a restaurant. What the heck, they know who they are. Item F, approve public works equipment purchases. Item G, approve regular city council minutes for 1/27/2020. Item H, appoint Josh Benson to public works seasonal worker position. That's it.
Make a
Like
motion to
pull
approve.
F.
Pull F.
F.
What do you want to move to approve A, B, C, D, E, G, H?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
Second.
second.
Tim, second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Mike?
Item F, I'd just like to maybe go over some of this with Bill. Some of these weren't on the original budget. And why the reason it's appearing now.
All right, and I can comment on all that. Excuse me. So the bottom two items were the Swacker loader. If you were out at Public Works in, was that December, January?
Yeah, when was it there?
I
It was-
can't remember the date.
January.
But one of our new employees that started in October had used this piece of equipment and worked out a demo with it. He thought it would be great for the city to have. It's a smaller wheelbase, so it fits on the sidewalks, and that's one of our struggles, is cleaning sidewalks. The Bobcats are just a little bit too wide. It moves a lot faster, bigger blower on it. So we had it out there to test it.
I think it was there when we did, when we met with, for the
Facility
events
coordinator.
coordinator.
That's, yeah, whatever date that was. So it was out there, and I'd asked the council if you wanted to go out into the equipment garage, you could see it and look at it and touch it. So obviously, yeah, we didn't know about this at the budget time because Josh wasn't working for us at that time. So we brought it in, and staff has also agreed that this would be a great piece of equipment to put into our arsenal, and it would take care of our snow removal on sidewalks quicker and faster. So yes, it's a new item on the budget. I agree. That's why I highlighted it as such. And it fits within, so my staff has done exhaustive work to try to keep everything underneath in the budget. And so we're actually still under budget with that, even including that in there, so.
Well, the reason I ask is because you have a skid loader in here also with the tracks, with the blower, which was the original
Right.
piece of equipment we agreed
Right.
on. And then another piece of equipment comes up for the same thing.
So let me explain that a little bit. So the whacker with the loader would be for sidewalks only, stationed out of Public Works. This blower here, we want to bring up to City Hall, put it in the basement garage where Public Works uses, because we could use it up here. It also gets used at the skating rink. So there's a lot of work that we can do up here with the Bobcat blower right away for snow removal that we don't do because it's out at the other shop and we're busy with other things. So if it's located here, we're saving time from driving back and forth down the street from 670 to the Public Works facility all the way out here. So that was the intention of what that was gonna be for. So we do have another Bobcat with another blower on it, yes, but that's why we wanna look at going to this whacker. The other thing with the whacker, he uses Bobcat attachments. So everything that we already have out there, from grapples to drags to whatever that is, this whacker can use too. So that was the other added benefit to it, is that we can still use every attachment that we do have with this new piece of equipment. So, does that help, Mike?
All right, any other questions?
Yeah,
Kinda,
if Mike didn't pull it, I was gonna pull it. During the budget process, I wasn't in agreement with the pickup truck because the reason was because the current one doesn't have Bluetooth. So I don't think that's a very good reason to buy a new pickup truck. Granted, they'll all flow down, but doesn't sound good to me.
but how many pickups? I mean, here's the problem that I see a lot, and I've asked for this for years, is when we go through the budget process, whether it be PD, maintenance, whatever, we don't know why you're buying this stuff and what's being replaced. You know, when you ask for a purchase, this pickup truck is a good instance, is we've got how many pickup trucks out there? Are you gonna replace a new pickup and get rid of some old pickups? So they're not on our inventory? Does everybody need a pickup to drive? You know, we just keep adding and adding, and it doesn't seem like anything is ever getting replaced or removed from the inventory. So, to me, that's becoming a pretty big problem, is we've been pretty gracious to help with the capital plan on this stuff. But at what point do we start replacing and removing some of this old equipment that does not need to be on the inventory or is outdated? And, you know, like Frank said, just because you wanted Bluetooth in it, it's not a good purchase. But
Mike,
that's my problem, is we never know what's getting replaced. It keeps coming up with new, and we never see a replacement. We never see anything being reduced out of the inventory of our equipment.
well, Mike, I can tell you that one truck we did give to Ruth. So there was one that got taken out of inventory, so.
Yeah, we do take them out, and to be honest with you, that's our fault if we don't know what we're approving.
It shouldn't be. They
Well,
should,
no, it is,
Oh, I know what I was approving or not approving.
yeah. All right, any other questions?
Why don't you just address I don't believe that the vehicle being purchased is really because of the Bluetooth.
Oh,
issue.
absolutely
That was
not.
the reason in the budget
I don't-
meeting.
It's not why we're buying a new vehicle. We're rolling things down. We have to, as many pickups as we do need, yes, there are probably 13, 14 out there with everything that we could use. But in the summer, there's times where all of them are being used. We've run into times, and I've told you this before, where Pat's had to use the swap loader single X truck to go get parts because everything's gone. The other reason we don't get rid of them, because they're not worth anything. It doesn't cost us a dime except for the fuel to put into them. So we keep them here because when we do run out, if you have a full season staff of 8 to 10 employees or seasonals out there with our full-time staff, we need them all So I need to be able to do the job and get people to where they need to go. And if I can do that with a vehicle that doesn't cost the city anything, it's a benefit for us. We do have the room for storage, yes. I mean, they sit in the cold storage over winter. I get that. But they come out in the spring here now, and then they'll be used again. So that's the reason that I don't really dump anything unless I have to, because it doesn't cost us anything, except for some storage and some fuel. A little bit for insurance, and insurance is dirt cheap. So that's why, if you're wondering. Yeah, it does seem like we got an excessive amount of vehicles, but you also have to look at too that there's six employees that have a dedicated vehicle, two. You know, utility operators have their own vehicle that they're running. Myself, Dale, and then the building maintenance guy. So some of those are already set aside, they're not being used by any of the other staff, so. I don't know if that helps explain it a little bit more. And no, we're not buying it for Bluetooth. That's just what it is today. I mean, you're gonna get that no matter what with your vehicles, so.
All right, any other questions? What's your wishes on item F?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
3-2, it passes. All right, item 5, regular agenda, 2020 COPS hiring grant application. Chief?
All right. Mayor, members of the council, like to request approval for the ability to apply for a federal COPS hiring grant. We have applied for these grants in the past. We were successful twice and we were declined twice. This would be application number 5. And just for background, and I tried to explain in my memo to the for the council agenda, that throughout 2019, the Personnel Committee, which is made up of department heads, sat down and mapped out a 5-year staffing plan for the city, which obviously included the police department. And, you know, as we talked about even at the legislature this morning, the uniqueness that is Waite Park being a city that is a relatively small resident population, but has the daytime presence of 30,000 some people. We have 120,000 trips on our roadways every day. And we basically police what I would describe as a regional high school. We're unique. Most cities of 7,000 or 7,700 people do not need 18 police officers that we currently have in a $3 million budget. But what is unique about Waite Park is that we are a regional center, we are a destination for a lot of things, and that as I look to the future, and that was part of the discussions that we had, you know, when we start bringing on venues like the amphitheater, which are great for the area, and I totally support, but, and I don't, not, in the conference center, I'm not implying that those entities directly will increase our call load, but anytime you bring in that many more people into the area, we're gonna have more traffic crashes, we're gonna have more potential for crime victimization to occur. We already rank on a per capita basis the highest in the state on Part 1 crimes, which tend to be the more serious crimes. And so I think I saw this grant as an opportunity to hire 3 officers. Our current staffing plan calls for 3 officers to be added over the next 5 years, going out to 2024. There is no guarantee that we'll be successful. We might get 3, we might get 1, we might get 0. But it was an opportunity for us to possibly look at funding for the expansion of our police department. Essentially, if successful with the three, basically, the 75-25 split. 75 would be federal funding, 25% would be a local match. That would be basically 3 positions for the price of 1 over a 3-year period of time, of which we were proposing to hire those positions anyway. I think as far as deployment, it would allow us to be a little more proactive when it comes to certain types of crime. It would allow us to not necessarily always be in a reactive mode. My vision would be that these officers would be, 2 of them would be in patrol. We could assign them to some of our larger apartment complexes on some kind of a foot patrol, those types of things, making connections with different parts of the community, and try to be more proactive, more preventative in how we approach things. And again, we're a smaller department, obviously, but we're a very busy one, and it is anticipated with some of the infrastructure that's being added that our call load and the potential for additional criminal behavior to be attracted to the area can't be denied. So that's why there's a window of opportunity, I guess, with this grant for the council to consider as a way to staff the police department per our citywide staffing plan.
Council, any questions?
Would your 3 officers would be all hired at one time? Or would you?
We would. It's not ideal, but we did it last year and it worked out all right. But the timeline would be, the deadline for applying is this week. So if we get it in, it probably, we might hear if we're approved or not sometime in latter part of the summer. At least that's been kind of past experience. So we could probably look to hire somebody or hire positions sometime this fall, September, October. So it would be a partial impact for this year. There are funds in this year's budget. Now, some of the salary that I talked about in the memo is unencumbered. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that July 1st, we're scheduled to give I believe it's a 2%, Johnny, remember, there's a cost of living adjustment that's coming into play.
Yeah, I think,
But by my calculations, there's still, if we had a late 2020 hire, that there are funds in the budget for that partial year's salary for 3 officers at an entry level, which these positions would be.
You talk about the salary and our contribution portion. What about money for the uniforms and equipment and all those kinds of things that go along with that? And
That would
vehicles,
be
if we're gonna
ours.
put 'em out in the road.
The grant only covers 75% of entry-level salary and benefits for 3 years. So on the equipment would be a part of our budget, excuse me, part of our operating budget.
What is the cost to equip? Must be, I'm guessing, it would roughly be probably 2,500, 3,000?
Per officer, not including, including their personal body armor. That might be an accurate figure, but we get reimbursed for that. So, personal body armor for an officer is anywhere from probably $1,200 to $1,500. So I think to outfit an officer, uniforms, duty belt, $1,500. And I think our budget, our current budget could absorb that. And of course, we would plan for that in next year's budget as well.
How about communications? Radio?
Radio, yeah, we would probably, We would need to add a couple of portable radios, yes, so that would be,
I don't know how much radio, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000?
well, they're a little more expensive, but probably what we would try to do is just add them to our current lease purchase that we have. That would be a possibility.
July 1 increase is 1%.
1%, so that,
1%. Plus, we're an officer down, so I mean, right now, we're not paying an officer.
That's correct.
correct, yeah, correct. So there's gonna be, I guess we would be accruing some savings, if you will, even starting now.
Anything else, council?
Are we going to be, the officer down is the one that,
Just on medical leave at this particular
Yeah,
point. It's
I
not,
take that back, no, they're
Yeah.
still on the
They're
on the
still
books,
on, but
so,
they,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yep,
we have two on medical, right? Or one?
yes,
yes.
2.
And we replaced the one that left already, I believe?
No,
No, we can't do anything
no,
yet.
we haven't,
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet?
no.
The status is he's still employed. So you have to wait until that process determines his fate.
I would be willing to approve 2, but 3, I think, puts us way past our staffing plan.
Yeah, but it doesn't, because in the next 3-4 years, we were gonna hire 3, and you know you're gonna hire
Right,
them.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but this is a 3-year plan.
5-year.
No,
Three.
the cops are a 3-year plan. If we hired those 3 cops, the chief's got it in there, $824,000. If we do them for the grant, we get them for $200,000.
Yeah, it says a 5-year plan on
The staffing is a 5-year plan. The grant is a 3-year plan.
Right, it takes us out to 2023, but we were
This says it
hoping to
would-
grow the staff by 3 by the end of
2022.
2022.
That's what this is.
So, yeah, so it's, but it's,
So it basically is the same as hiring 3 now.
yep.
Any other comments?
I'll make a motion that we approve the application
For
Or,
how many numbers?
for 3.
For a second?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? You got him, chief. Well, maybe you don't, but
Well,
you can ask for him.
appreciate the opportunity to try, and, you know, we'll see what they say. I have no idea what our chances are. Seems to be a priority on border security and some of those, so but I'll let you know when I know.
All
Thank you.
right, thanks.
We're close to the border.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
We're close to a border.
We are.
Item B, vacant maintenance worker position.
That's just, we're passing over that, correct?
Well, what you would,
Not.
your direction would be is whether or not you would be willing to begin the hiring process.
Oh,
I'll make a motion to start the hiring process for maintenance worker position.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Item C, we are passing over. Item 6, council and mayor. I don't have anything except I have a thank you from the Child Advocacy Center for the donation we gave them from our charitable gambling. And there was no one at public input at 6:15. No one. So, Shauna?
Just, you do have bills.
We have to pay the
Oh,
bills.
bills.
I'll move to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Now, Shauna.
I don't think I have anything.
Good.
Next meeting,
Next meeting is April 6th, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 6th. And if there's nothing, oh, Terry, you got anything? Bill? John?
Just another friendly reminder for everybody to be on the lookout for census materials in the mail.
Okay. Chief?
No, sir.
Paul?
No, sir.
All right, we are adjourned at 6:54.